Good afternoon. Like and subscribe for further spiritual updates if my message resonates with you, and pass, like and share, and of course tell this to your friends because a lot of what I am posting will probably be shadowed. Love is non-emotional intelligence. It is a manifestation of God. The more you love, which is without bias, the closer you come to becoming an immortal. Love is not an emotion. Why? Because emotions can be manipulated by outside sources. By outside sources, people and their lies, if you decide to believe them. If you decide to believe them. Understand this. Lies are emotional. Why? Because lies are a matter of choice. Who in the United States past the age of 8 or 9 years old does not know that Donald Trump is a liar? If you voted for him, you knew he was a liar, and it was a matter of choice, an emotional choice, because it was not based in reason or logic. People who voted for Donald Trump knew that he is a liar. Why did they vote for him? Emotions, not intelligence, nor wisdom, nor love. They wanted to see others disgraced for emotional satisfaction. Donald Trump is a microcosm of the racism and greed that created Manifest Destiny and Monroe Doctrine. To put it plainly, white imperialism or white supremacy, which both are a foolish emotional idea and concept that cannot exist in a multipolar world. In a multipolar world of many different ethnicities, there will be no white supremacy. There would be no black supremacy. It is what it is, a multicultural world, and we all must be respected. And when people are not respected, there will be disharmony and the chaos that we see now. Love is the wisdom and intelligence one hears in the voice of the silence within. In the voice of the silence within. It is the ego which tells you not to listen to the voice of God, which is the ability to reason. My words are not rocket science. However, truth adds up positively, whereas lies add up negatively, creating subtraction. Therefore, when you decide to believe in lies and manifest them, you act against your own best interest. Anytime you decide to believe in a lie, you act against your own best interest. Why is this? Because lies do not exist. Lies do not exist. Lies are not a part of reality. You have to walk in reality for things to add up, because reality is called reality because it is real. Reality is reality because it is real. MAGA Republicans, you must reap what you have sown. If you do not do the will of God, what do you expect to happen? If you do not do the will of God, what do you expect to happen? God is love. But if you do not choose love, you choose what? You choose chaos. And that is what you see ever since Trump's chaos is going worldwide. But understand this, if you pay attention, notice everything that Trump is doing is having the opposite effect. Everything he is doing is not punishing the people it is intended to punish. it is having the opposite effect. Now, you had plenty of chances to pay reparations, but you emotionally enjoyed watching God's chosen people suffer. It's not like you have control over your money anyway. The United States is $38 trillion in debt, and you have nothing to show for it. And who do you think is going to have to pay off the debt? The rich taxes are going down. Who do you think will have to pay off the debt? Billy Graham told you in the 50s and 60s, during the civil rights movement and voter rights movements for God's chosen people. He told you who God's chosen people were. You see, God's going to make sure that you know what you're doing. And whether African Americans are foundational black African Americans, Hebrew Israelites, the sons and daughters of Judah, doesn't make any difference. You will reap what you have sown. In the reality of the situation, God let you know, and He let one of your own tell you this. I didn't have to tell you this. He let one of your own tell you this. Jewish people, people of the Jewish faith, who are not Jews by the blood, Jewish people, your own, whatever you want to call them, have told you that you are not God's chosen people. The reason why you don't get a DNA test is because you know that it would prove that you are not God's chosen people. What always boggles me is, how can you say that you believe in God and then tell a lie on God? Chaos. But understand this. You will not die. You will dissolve by fire. Evil people will dissolve by fire. Fire creates ashes, ashes creates dust, and you've been saying it yourself for centuries. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. See, God has always been communicating to you. But if you don't listen to the voice within, the voice of spirit within you that gives you your life, then you will dissolve. Your memories of self will pass before your eyes and the eyes of God in the silence that is within. Your memories of self will pass before your eyes and the eyes of God in silence. There will be no need for excuses. There will be no need for excuses, because all will be there for you to see. And it is your spirit that will judge you. And your spirit is of God. Will you reincarnate after your suffering? The question is, who are you? You are a collection of your memories. And if your memories dissolve, you dissolve. I would suggest that those of you who did not want to pay reparations, that you pay reparations before it is too late. Pay reparations before it is too late. And the reality is, you have no control over your tax dollars anyway. Donald Trump gave $40 billion to Venezuela. And I wonder, were those companies in Venezuela that he gave that money to, were they multinational corporations that are based in the United States? I don't know. I don't care. It's none of my business. What I've written down and I've given you is a message from God. And I receive messages from God through the melanation in my skin. I follow the 10 Commandments to remove all obstructions from me receiving the message. I eat as the Bible dictates in Leviticus. I do not eat pork. I do not eat shellfish, crab, lobster, etc. And I do not eat fish without scale, catfish, eels, octopus, and whatever. And I follow Deuteronomy 22 verse 5, and I stay away from homosexual activities. All these things Yahweh requires of me to be in touch with Yahweh, to be in touch with my spiritual self. And the only way you can be in touch with your spiritual self is through truth. Because truth is what? Truth is real. Truth adds up. And I'll tell you another thing that will help you too, regardless of your ethnicity. Whether you are, it doesn't matter whether you consider yourself white, black, or whatever. You should keep your skin clean. Because it allows you to, it is your ability to communicate with Yahweh, God. I've heard some Caucasians say that I don't wash up with a towel because the towel gets dirty. Well, when you wash up with a towel, you rinse the towel out. You rinse the dirty stuff out the towel, then you hang it up for further use. And then after a week, then you wash that towel. But if you're not going to use a towel, a face rag to wash up with, then what are you going to dry your face with? A bath towel. Now if you're drying yourself with a bath towel, then, and you hanging that bath towel up, then you are hanging, that is dirty because you have not washed the dirt off your body. You have not washed the dirt off your body. So that towel is even filthier. And I say this in conjunction with with why you should have paid reparations. Because you have no control of that. Because your money is being given away and being used in wars anyway. So you've literally acting unwisely. But see, love would have led you in the right direction. But I'm going to stop now and say that like and subscribe for future spiritual updates. Like and subscribe for future spiritual updates. But the reality of the situation, if you look at, once a person looks at my introduction, or what they call thumbnail, you will understand what I am talking about. And once you read it and you think about it, then you will receive the message through the melanin in your body. Through the melanin in your body, which acts as an antenna, a spiritual antenna, you will receive my messages anyway. So, and I say this to those who control YouTube and think that you can shadow my message. The reality of the situation is that I'm just one of thousands of Yahweh's messengers. And the reason why, see, Yahweh heard you say, cut off the head and the body will fall. But see, there are cells. And those cells pick up spiritual information. And African Americans did not receive that message through the melanin in our skin. This is part of the awakening, which I like to call, when you really get into the awakening and you really follow the 10 Commandments and follow God's words, then it becomes a silent rapture. A silent rapture. And that is spiritual. I forgot the words I want to use for that. That is spiritual meditation. When you receive the rapture, you will receive it in silence. And it is spiritual meditation. And it's not that you don't go out and you shout to your friends, this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to sell that, I'm going to sell that. It belongs to the voice within you. And Yahweh always told you, when you pray, pray in the closet. It is your connection to God. Sorry to hold you up longer, but like and subscribe for further spiritual updates.